Herzlich willkommen zu eines Noise update in which we'll be discussing the new bull market of Bitcoin as we are approaching resistance. But we're doing really well. Price is acting above 50k. Altcoins are not doing really well. This depends on which one you have. If you have Shiba Inu, you are doing absolutely great. But I think it's not an investment thesis. But Bitcoin is doing wonderful in a market where the equity markets are not doing too great. Yields are running up, gas prices are running up, and crypto as well. We're going to discuss that today in this update. Also, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and like this YouTube update as that's helping me a lot. Looking at the price structure of Bitcoin at this stage, we've been covering it all the time, right? So we have been stating the fact that we have taken liquidity here. We've stated the fact that we've taken liquidity there on the lows. And this range construction actually helped us by breaking out up. What we see right now is that we've got a big impulse wave to the upside. While in the meantime, the price is dropping a little. In which we flipped 48k and rallied all the way back up. So this was one of the scenarios that I was describing in which the resistance is the area that we are facing around here. That's the last high, and most likely we are going to construct at least some sort of range-bound construction before we are going to have any continuation on the bull market for Bitcoin at this stage. So this scenario is still what I'm looking at, in which at this point we are seeing this run back up as we continued to grind further up, also given the fact that there was still negative funding rates. And negative funding rates assume that people are still shorting the markets, and that was actually pushing the prices even further up. So resistance is around this zone. What is next to be happening at this stage? Well, at some point we're going to have at least some sort of consolidation like we have been seeing previously too. And that would induce some retests of levels that we have got here as well. And that level might be around the area that we are seeing on the lows. So anything in this range might be a phase where we're going to have some corrective period too, in which we are going to establish ourselves a range before we are breaking out back upwards. And I think the moment we are breaking out above 52k, what is next to be happening at this point is that we're looking at 57 to 59k next. So this is the next range of resistance if Bitcoin is going to crack through the resistance at 52k. We remember that level from previous movements. That's a very crucial one. So what am I assuming at this stage? I think that if you're looking for day trades, the chances for the long are gone at this point. If you're looking for investments, then I still believe that the DCA strategy at this stage is still doing fine. If you're looking for swing trades, I think you're also going to wait for any retest like this. And especially with day trades, you should be looking at retests at those zones if you want to get any point or any trade. If you want to take the short, I think you want to wait for a rejection like this and a lower high on lower time frames, and then you can be shorting all the way towards the 49.5k zone. So I'm assuming that we're going to get a range bound construction in this area here, or at least some retest of lower levels, especially given that we've just reached or had a 30% run on a Bitcoin overall. So what I'm assuming with the markets is right now critical levels are still around 47k, the recent low. Levels to retest anything in this range before we're going to continue, and I assume that once we break through this resistance zone, we're going to have continuation to possibly even 60k. Looking at Ether, we can see that we're also trying to break above the recent high. However, there's less strength on altcoins at this point. Why is that? Well, people are seeing that Bitcoin is doing really well, and that's the moment where the shift from altcoins towards Bitcoin is taking place at this point, resulting in the market dominance running back upwards. And we've seen that happening on and on again. We've bounced from a support level here, and therefore we can assume that at some point in time we can have a bounce back up. So as long as Bitcoin is going to be vertical, you most likely will be seeing that your alts are dropping a little in their Bitcoin pairs, inducing a potential retest of any of those ranges here before we're going to reverse and drop further down with the Bitcoin dominance, as the dominance of Bitcoin will probably decrease over time. So having a relief rally is quite normal, especially given the fact that the Bitcoin movements are quite vertical. So the move of Bitcoin in itself took place in just a matter of days. And then especially in the last part, which we're seeing right now, altcoins are getting sold off as people are jumping on the Bitcoin train, assuming that the Bitcoin train will just continue running. However, I'm assuming that we will be having some more range-bound construction before we're going to break out. And in that period where Bitcoin is going to consolidate, we most likely are going to see altcoins continuing their momentum and just continuing their bounces on the Bitcoin pair. So that is something that we want to see. If Bitcoin is going to consolidate and major alts are going to bounce in their Bitcoin pairs, that would induce continued strength on the markets for altcoins. Looking at Ethereum, we've discussed the critical level that we are looking at right now, bounced from it, nice break to the upside, fake out here, assuming that we might be getting some more drops coming in. If we lose this block around 34, then we have some more sideways action before we are going to continue to anything in this range of 4K and $3,800. Looking at Ethereum against Bitcoin, another rejection at 0.71, through which we are facing support once again. So this entire region here, and I think we are looking at this level at this point as we might be dropping a little bit further. I think that we're looking at anything in this range, which would be another drop of about 4 to 5%. If we want to have a bounce on the altcoins, that is the level that I'm looking at. If that one is not holding, the final hurdle is the area that we have around 0.6. And if that is not going to hold, I think we're going to have some more pain. But it's very comparable to the price action that we have witnessed back in March of 2021, in which Bitcoin also dropped a little bit, faced support, held there, and then started a new run in April and in May. Going back to 2020, we can see that we've had a swift corrective move all around until November. And then we had a slight bounce until December, and the actual alt season started back there. So we might be seeing some more pain on the altcoins, or a little bit more as Bitcoin is taking the overall perspectives right now. But what you want to see is that when Bitcoin is going to consolidate, altcoins are going to bounce back up in their Bitcoin pair. That is the update of today. Is Bitcoin ready for 60K? Yes, it is. But we first have to be calm for a little bit. Before you are going away, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and like the YouTube update. And I'll see you again soon.